I'm in Chicago now, growing up in Chicago. How was it for you? Like, I feel like everybody when you go to Chicago, be like, be careful in Chicago. Like you can't go too many places. You got to be really careful. So, which I love Chicago, and I don't get that vibe, but I don't know how it was for you growing up.
I'm like supremely grateful to the Most High God that I grew up in Chicago. It's like our roots are from the South, so we have a down home, Southern love, but then it's a city that has like that the freshness of a city, progressiveness, the hard working blue collar. Um, it's a lot of soul in Chicago. So everything from the black churches to the music to the liquor stores and gangbang was all part of me growing up and culture and me learning who I am. And I have to say, I filmed a movie in Baltimore um, called Love, and I filmed it in like 2010. And I remember being like, this is one of the only cities that I feel like I meet people that are the
Yeah.
same ilk in a way that's like blue collar. Maybe it's Baltimore, Chicago, and Oakland when I meet people. I'm like, there's something there that's like, I don't know, a city, it's down home, it's blue collar. So I love that you are in our city. I was so happy when you got drafted by the Sky, and I hope the city is embracing you. If it's anything I could ever do, I got history there, so I'll do whatever. Just know.
Nah, the city has been great. They've supported me in so many ways. Since I got to Chicago, like you said, it felt like home. Like it felt like Baltimore, and I hadn't been home in a while because I went to LSU, and that's completely different. Baton Rouge in Louisiana is like completely different from being like in a city where everybody's trying to get it. Everybody loves you. Everybody's like your cousin, your brother, and that's how I felt in Chicago. Like it feels like family. For you, was it like you felt like you had to get out of Chicago, or you just wanted to stay as long as you can and then figure it out from there?
I man, I felt like really like starting off, especially going into my career. It was like, man, proud. I'm Chicagoan. This is I'm representing Chicago. We didn't have any really hip hop artists besides Twister, who was really out on a national level. So it was like we were trying to break through the doors, and it took a lot being from a new place because at the time it was like East Coast of New York had all the New York
Yeah.
was the mecca, and then West Coast was putting their music out. They were thriving with the West Coast music, and then some of the South was doing it. So Chicago hadn't really got it yet. I really felt good staying there and being there, but at a certain point, I felt to elevate to the next level, I needed to get to where the music industry was more prevalent. I needed to be around some of the producers, just because a lot of people at that time were just connecting and making music together because they were in the same space. Like you bump into somebody at the studio and they like, yo, get on this record, or man,
Yeah.
I've been waiting to get in tune with you. So I needed to go to where the industry was. And no matter where I moved to, no matter how I moved, I'm always Chicago is in my heart. I love a lot of cities, but Chicago is my heart. Can I ask you, because you said something about being at LSU, and I went to a school down south at Florida A&M. I attended a historically black college for for a couple of years before I started my career. What was one of the biggest like cultural changes you felt being in Louisiana? Because you went to school in Maryland for a second, right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
you
yeah.
played. Okay, so what was the thing that like was there anything shocking for you, or just what would you say?
Yeah, like so for me, like sports wise, for the transition from Maryland to LSU, like SEC is way bigger. Like you can feel like when you play for SEC school, like the football, like people are tailgating at 6 o'clock in the morning. Like at Maryland, it wasn't. I didn't have that experience. I didn't have
Yeah,
like the outside of basketball and outside of being at school. Like I didn't have that experience, especially because I was home. I didn't really have that big experience. But when I went to LSU, like the biggest thing for me was like being able to have a real college experience. Like everybody was loving the school, they loved the players, like we felt the love. So when I went
yeah,
from Louisiana to Chicago, I think the only difference, the cultural difference was like Everybody in Chicago is family, like brother and sister and cousin. It wasn't really like that in Louisiana, but everybody's like really nice to you. You don't feel like everybody's like your
Right.
cousin or like that. Like more in Chicago though. Like I felt like in Chicago, like everybody's like that's cousin, that's my sister, that's my brother. Like it feels more like that. Louisiana's like that Southern hospitality. Like everybody's
Yeah.
nice. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Like you don't hear that in Chicago. So when I go in the store and
Yeah.
they be like, don't say ma'am. They be like, I'm not your grandma or I'm not that old. So like I had that and I took that from when I was in Louisiana, like yes ma'am, like no ma'am, like that we didn't grow up in that in Maryland. I didn't grow up on that. But when I was in Louisiana for like 2 years, like I grew up and I kind of gained that yes ma'am, no ma'am, or like being really, really, really like open and polite to everybody because that's just how it is. Everybody was open arms, everybody like they're willing to give you anything and everything. You know, like in Chicago and Baltimore, like everybody's fighting against each other.
Yeah.
Louisiana,
Yeah. Yeah.
it was like everybody was just open arms and willing to like give.
Yeah. I love that what you said. Like, cause I say no sir sometimes and yes ma'am.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of respect. Like it's
Yeah.
honoring people and like it's being a respect in a respectful way. And
Yeah.
sometimes I even say it like I might not even be in the best mood, but I'm like, yes, sir. Like,
Right.
just to let them know, like, I got respect for you. But
Facts.
I think it's a great trait to pick up what you're saying about politeness and consideration, and
Yeah.
it's a sign of respect to me.
Yeah, and you feel like everybody's not like competing against each other. Like it feels like everybody wants everybody to win. Like and it's not always the same. Like when you grow up in Baltimore, you grow up in like in Chicago, it hasn't been the same. For you, like growing up, did you always know that you wanted to be like an artist or actress? Like did you play sports?
I played sports. I wanted to hoop, man. I was like, I really loved like I wanted to hoop. I was hooping, and my dream was like really to play in the league.
Yeah.
That was my first dream, and I was playing in high school. I wasn't. I was getting some playing time, but I was just telling my guy Marion this, like one of my young guys. I was like, I would be really good on the playground, like at the parks, on even in practice. But the lights of being on the basketball court during the game would take me out of my game. I couldn't like center myself and be like my full self on the court. I would let my nerves get to me,
Yeah.
and so like my dreams for basketball actually got detoured because I got injured and it took me out for a minute. So that's when I started rapping more. I was already rapping. Hip hop was something I loved, but I got I listen. I know this is a podcast you interviewing me, but because I love you, and I'm like I want to know when did you get like when you started getting on the court? Did, when did you get over your nerves, or do you still get nerves? And how do you get over that?
I don't feel like I get nervous. More like anxious, like I'm ready to play. Like game at 6 o'clock, like I'm ready at 9 o'clock, like I'm ready 9 in the morning, like I'm ready to hoop. Like I think it's more
Yeah,
anxious, like I'm ready for it to happen already. Like that's more what it was for me. But it's like hard for you to say that because like I feel like being a artist, you're putting out music to millions of people by yourself. This is not like a team effort. Like this is I mean it is team behind the scenes, but like your name is on it. Like your name is on the song, your name is on the music. So it's like that doesn't make you anxious. Like that doesn't scare you or like having to stand up in front of everybody and rap in front of everybody. Like that would make me nervous.
well, I think that's what. Put it this way, like me rapping, and when I first started like writing and rapping, I I could feel the joy that I had and the joy that it made others feel, and I didn't feel the nerves. And not
Mm,
listen. It's times I, before I go on stage, I feel a little nerves.
yeah.
Whether it's the anxious, I feel a little nerves, but I love that feeling. Before I'm doing the scene, I feel, but I have all these different things, to center me. Like
Yeah.
right now, I'm lighting the Palo Santo, but I don't do that every time, but I do that at certain things. But I have things that center me that, saying my prayers, like
Yeah.
certain breathing things, and music, different music, to center me. So even with the little nerves that I have, and I think that was what let me know that God was like, hey, this is your path right here. This music. As much as you want to hoop and you can hoop for fun, but like this rap thing is. and getting into music and evolving into acting was really felt natural. And no matter how much nerves, I felt confident. I had to feel like whenever I'm doing it, like any art form I do or anything I do passionately, I need to feel like I could be great at it. Like I could be
Yeah.
one of the greats. That's the
Yeah.
way that I.
Exactly. This episode is brought to you by Price Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Price Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss out on any of the excitement this football season on Price Picks, where it's good to be right. Go Ravens, baby.
It's officially that part of football season where you start to lose hope in your team. I'm a Miami fan, I know the struggle, but thankfully I have Prize Picks to keep me locked in and keeping me right. Follow other Prize Picks players directly on the app and copy their lineups in one click. Whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like, hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on Prize Picks. Prize Picks also offers injury reboots. If one of your players leaves the game in the first half and doesn't return, Prize Picks won't count it as a loss. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use code ANGEL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code ANGEL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
All right, y'all, listen up. NBA 2K26 is out now, and this year is loaded with upgrades. Gameplay has an all-new motion engine, smoother catch and shoot, brand new My Career storyline, and more ways to rep your style on and off the court in the all-new city. They've stepped it up for the WNBA too, with new updates to My Team, which now includes current and legendary players from the W. So best believe I'll be in there repping the DMV. NBA 2K26 is available now. Ball over everything.